All right. Oh, we'll see. We'll see if it shows up on there. So, but it's still good. All right. So in the chat, I put a link to the step out, and I said even while I'm gonna share my screen, and we'll kind of talk through it, and then we'll do it. And yeah, it is fancy. Yeah, and then we'll get started with it. I didn't click to share my screen. Let me do that. All right. Okay. There we go. Okay, things are just being slow. All righty. So this is called Zooloo, and this is from another CZT, Judy Vogues. I'm guessing I'm pronouncing it right, and I believe she's from South Africa. And when I was reading about the Tangle, she was inspired by it was like tribal shields or something. It's like, well, I can kind of see it sort of, but when I look at it, I see something different. I don't see that, but anyway, so this one is neat. It's a grid pattern, and actually, I'm hearing some. Let me just check. I'm hearing some. Oh, there we go. And so I'm going to mute, and so I'm just going to mute so that way. So I'm hearing some weird background-y stuff. Sure, I am. Okay. Okay. Oh, well, I'm off the thing. Okay, hold on. That's not helping. All right. So let me. I think I know what I'll have to do. Okay, so in a minute I'll restart my video. But anyway, so this is a grid pattern, and we start off with curved lines, making this kind of like a curvy V. And it was like my third box there is a little it's a little wonky, but that's okay. And so one row we do it one direction, and then flip your paper, and on the second row we're going to do the same thing in the opposite direction. Then dropping down to the next line of boxes, we're going to aura that, and then actually I shouldn't have filled that in because you can choose to fill in or not, but you can just aura as you want to and fill in again as you want to. Then we're going to add it's two straight lines, so essentially auraing that side of the box, but just going into the center, as you can see, and we'll do that from both sides in each individual box. And again, we're doing it. We flip your paper, flip your tile, and in the alternate boxes, we're doing the same thing, just in the opposite direction. And then we end up with this really cool pattern, and then with the shading adds that depth. So let me unshare and see if and there I'm back on. Okay, and I'm still seeing Anna, which is weird. Okay, but let's see. How is my? Oh, okay.
But you did something different in the middle, Heather. What did you do?
I did, because so on and I found this on Tangle patterns. So for those not familiar, I'll put it in here. I'll put it in the chat. Tangle patterns.com. It is the best repository of tangles out there. And so I had found this one actually a long time ago, and I was going through thinking about, okay, what should we do? And remembering some of these really neat tangles that I had found some time ago, I decided to look this one up. And on Tangle, so they give you the story, which is nice if there's a story to give, and then also usually if you design a tangle, then there's some examples, and this was the example that she had, and actually I'll tell you how to. Well, let's see. No, I can tell you how to do it right now, so that way, as we're doing it, if you decide you want to do it this way, then you can do it this way. If you are just writing in a sketchbook because you want to try the tangles and get used to them, and it's not like a completed tile, that's okay too. I want to make sure that everyone knows that. So Lynn, so these come from Zentangle. I don't know what the weight is, but they are a cotton tile. This is 3.5 inches square, and which back up. I can put the screen share up for a moment. I'm thinking that's what you're looking for.
Well, I can tell her it's a watercolor paper.
Yeah.
Probably cold pressed, and I think about 110 pound. But it's a different surface. The surface will feel different than if you just go and it's what is it, Fabriano, I think.
Yes.
But if you just go to an art store and buy Fabriano cold press 110 pound watercolor paper, the surface is going to feel a little bit different because these are die cut, and something with the pressure of being die cut changes the surface of the paper a little bit. But it has a little bit of texture to it, but not too much, but just a little.
Yeah. Yeah, so I put this up just for another second here. And so there is a link in my pleasure, Helen. There is a link in the chat. You might have to scroll up a little bit, or we can re-put it in there. So that way you can click on that, and have, like, so if you're on a laptop or something, you can have it on an additional screen, or have access to it afterwards. So as I mentioned, this is a grid pattern. If you want to do this, which I'm not sure if I want to redo or not, because, or maybe I should. And then I don't know. This is what I do. I go back and forth in my head as to what am I doing. Let's do that, because it's still teaching the pattern regardless. And actually, then I do it halfway big, so. What color am I using? Brown.
So you're doing your border straight with ink.
I'm doing my border straight with ink, so I am not putting the pencil on. I'm gonna
and straight.
And straight, I know. And I'm covering over my brown with the black because I didn't look as I was grabbing. Oh gosh, look at how good I did. So I'm gonna do just a big border. And I'm just going straight ink. But this is one, you could just use it as a fill-in, but because this is so neat. Again, so this was her pattern, and I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh, I can figure out how to do that. Where some, when they're real artistic, I can't figure that out. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna make this my bottom though, I think. So looks like a Polaroid. All right, so what I'm going to do, so to recreate this, so if you want to, either way, you want to start with a grid. So I'm going to get my middle line here and then cross it. So while everybody gets their whatever grid pattern that you want. Lena, so I'm saving, I am recording it. What I'm going to do for sure is I'm going to do a Zentangle quickie, and if and what I have been doing with these is just putting them out on my YouTube channel as an unedited, so that way, there's I don't know, so that way people have low expectations. No, but so it's not polished and edited and all of that, but I can put this up as well, because there is extra information on the live class than when I do a little quickie video, which is just, here's basically how you do it, and here's some examples and a little bit of chatting, but I try to keep those as short as possible. Okay, so whatever grid you have, if you have that set up, I'll reproduce this because it is kind of fun. For some reason, it makes me think of stained glass, sort of not really, but just maybe it's like this gothicness of it that just makes me think of, an old church. All right, so starting in, whatever square you want to, because this is going to be the same. And yes, I can be seen. All right. And so from the top, either top corner, I'm starting from the right and going towards the middle of the bottom. So I'm making a curved line. Wow, not that well. That's okay. Mine's a little off center on the bottom, but that's all right. We make do. And then I'm going to do the same. Actually, I'm going to start from the bottom just because that one is so weird. And I'm coming up. So essentially you have a V, but it's with curvy lines. Sometimes I'm good enough that I can just, okay, curvy to the middle, curvy, like that. I should have done that in the first place. That turned out better. So that's going to go across. So whatever row you started on, that's going to go across that entire row. And then I'm flipping mine over. So then this, I want to make sure that these meet at least. So I want to start on the bottom, and then I'm curving this one out to the corner. And then I'll do this side out to the corner. And if you're missing something, so that we'll repeat the steps in the center here. So I'm trying not to go fast. I want to go at a decent speed. But then you end up with something like this. And even if some of it's a little off kilter like this, then that's okay. Oh, Lynn, you know what, Lynn? I might. What I've been doing, Lynn, is sending out via email to those that attended. So I might not have put it out there if it was on a different session. I think I've only put a couple out, and I need to get on the ball. All right. So if you have, these done, so these V's done, then. Okay, so we're just going to work on the V's because to do this middle section will be a little bit later. So just on the V's right now, for those that are wanting to do this. So we're just aura-ing, and however aura-ing works, and then for those that are new to Zentangle, which I did not ask that question, if you're new in general, aura-ing is basically just to outline. So as you can see, and actually a lot of times I like to be able to see what I'm aura-ing as I'm doing it like this, but then sometimes when I'm doing a curved line, so I get conflicted, I like to hold my hand steady and where I'm just doing my curve like this, so I don't have to do anything but move the tile. So sometimes when I'm aura-ing, I get conflicted. It's like, well, which way is it going to be better? And then sometimes, like I said, it's just as easy to just go like this. And we're going to aura up until essentially you don't have any room anymore.
You should probably strive to have the same number of auras on each side, right? Maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
I like the way you said, sure.
Well, I say that because so the fill-in part, because I'm thinking, yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Because I only have room for 1, 2, 3, and you have.
Well, how big did you?
1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5.
Yeah. Well, see,
it depends on how you've done your curve. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and that's it depends.
And how close you do your aura-ing.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. So my V's stayed pretty open to the end, versus having it, be that straight line type of thing. So that's what it depends. So if you're, and I'm lagging behind here because I'm yapping and things at the same time. Oh, so why I was laughing, Mom, is because I think I had odd numbers on this sample, and then for those that don't know,
it's not really noticeable if you just look at it. Now that you mentioned it, I can see it.
Well, so yeah, so on here, so the magic fix for most everything is filling in. So if you decide you want to fill in, some portion of these auras, then you can. I might even redo these step outs just to leave it like this, and then put that, because it's an option, because maybe you don't want to do that. But yeah, because I had some weirdness, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to fill it in, because in her step out, she does have that filled in. All right, so I'm going to skip doing the bottom. The bottom, it's obviously we're doing the same thing. But so if you want to replicate this, say either way, if you are or aren't, this next step is what we do. If you're replicating this, then leave the center empty. So I'm going to work on, so we're on either side of the V. We're just doing straight lines. So we're going to aura essentially that line of the box and then this line. And again, yeah, like we were talking about, you can go as thin or as far apart or as close together as you want. Yeah, and so this one, again, is just, yeah, straight lines. And as many as you want to fit in. And actually I can do, well, now, if you're not replicating this and you would be doing then both sides. What the one thing to do is then when you do the inside, I would start from, looking at here and doing the hollabow technique. And for those that don't know, that's we call that the art of drawing underneath. So then I would look at, okay, here's this line. I'm going to come right as close as I can and continue. But if you're replicating this, don't do that. We'll just do these outside auras. And then I'm guessing most everyone can probably figure out how we're doing the inside is when we're just going to make a smaller grid from the inside.
Yeah, I've
And
already
then
made my grid, and I probably
she's
should.
already halfway done. No. No, that's good. That's exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But
See,
I'm
and I like
glad
to,
I'm glad you mentioned that about the hollabow kind of a thing, because I hadn't thought about that. Okay, I'm seeing now.
uh-huh. Yeah, so yeah, it's just yeah, a lot easier to think hollabow because and then it also depends on, so so this V, I have essentially a straight line here at at the base. So if I was doing the pattern throughout, then I there's no hollabow to be had. You just you can just continue that line, but it's good just to kind of for the effect to kind of line them up. And it's like, I thought, well, I don't know, this is just kind of a really neat tangle to have fun with. And it looks so impressive, even without doing this fancy, the extra kind of tangle within a tangle step. It's just so impressive looking that one of those, you too can impress your friends with your artistic skill.
And again, you picked one that I have never done. I don't remember even hearing of this one before, but
I should look and see. Let's see. Wait. Oh yes, and so Marine's asking. Yes, I think I probably did not finish the story. Yeah, it is from. So that's where she came with that. Let me. So while Mom's continuing, let me pull that up, and I can share this as well. So that's where she came up with the name. And sometimes it's funny because sometimes the names make sense, and then sometimes it's just like, I just threw the Scrabble tiles on the table and grabbed 5. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. If I make a tangle, that's what I'm going to do. Amazingly, there are here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share. Say, as Mom's tangling along here, let me share my screen also, because that way I can give you a quick primer. I should tell Linda. Hopefully that a lot more people are going to her site and supporting her work because it's fantastic.
Actually, I think. Well, no, never mind.
All right. So, and there are so many. So let me just tell you. So when you go to Tangle Patterns, you cannot click on this border. Oh, there's that Dillo. I was looking at that one too, because that was one where I did it. I'm like, oh, I don't like this one. And then I went back and looked at it, went, ooh, that's kind of neat. And I did it pretty well. So that might be coming up on one too, because these are from a long time ago. But you can't click on this. But what I would do is I would, I see something that I like, and then I would write the name down, and then in this alphabetical bar, you would just click on the letter of the alphabet, and where are we? Where did it go? There it is.
Oh, now in that one, she's only This is one where you could get a lot of variations just in how you aura it, the size.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, so Lynn, so on the Thursday Tangle time, every class I do is different. Yeah, and so I'm just picking a tangle or two, and then we're exploring it and having fun with it. And that's it's one of those you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes I don't even know until just before.
And she never
Well, and
tells
see,
me.
and I never tell mom. I like to. This is like pop quiz. Well, actually, yeah, so you click on the tangle, and then usually there, here's the story, and she'll put some other links in, and then usually you have to, sometimes it'll be below, so you'll scroll down, but sometimes you have to look to where she says, click here, and then the here will be in pink. And actually, so like here's a interesting, mom, with the just doing this, doing the aura-ing. Oh yeah, just doing the different sides. So there's a lot of different fun things that you could do with this. But here's what she did, and actually, her the little things on the side look a lot like Mary Hill, and
Oh yeah.
mine I don't think look like that, and I'm not sure why, but they look even. Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, absolutely, Lynn. Yeah, so we people put out, they create patterns, and they put them out there for anyone to use and have fun with. Also, check out Zentangle.com and get on their newsletter, because when the official tangles come out, you'll get stuff right from them, and then the extra inspiration. Yeah, for what they do. But yeah, see, yeah, because it's like I couldn't tell on this because it's so small, if she colored in that center, but then see on the step 6 where she's colored in the V. But yeah, this just gives you all kinds of options, so you don't have to color anything in. You could color in a lot of it. You could, just do a little. I mean, it's one of those up to you. And what I let guide me is where I have something that I don't like. And it's like, oh well, there's an oopsie. Okay, then we can fill that right in, and then and that's just how it works, because there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. So there we go. All right, so I'm gonna, let's see. Oh, I'm half done with this here. I'm gonna continue my can finish that later and do this inside. So probably looking at some of you are probably half done already. Mom's almost all done.
Oh no, I'm not. But mine look really. Oh, it still looks strange. It looks strange, and I'm thinking, how can I do the halabow thing to continue it? But I didn't make all my oval parts in the middle, which it still looks strange.
Oh yes.
So I might be
Okay.
doing a total variation because
Yeah, so then the trick then, for the center part is, how big of squares do you want to have, so that way you can have your grid. And then it's just drawing up, and then you'll have some partials, and that's just how it will end up. And so what's nice about this is, I like, oh, look at that, so uneven. Oh well. Starting in the center and working your way out this way and this way, then at least there's something sort of in the center, and it will end up looking good,
even if it doesn't look exactly like what it's supposed to look like.
Right. Well, that's where we can add in our own things. Yeah, so then the trick with doing the center part, of course, is working small, and then just finding a place to, okay, I'm just going to start my V's, and then making sure that they're going into the center. And I think this too, it's one of those, there's so much repetition that it's nice. And so this is what I was doing, was I was just, so that to avoid flipping my tile like crazy, I was skipping, so I'm doing the V's in one direction, and I'm just skipping a row, and also at the same time trying to be really careful in my mind that I don't just keep going in the same way. And then the trick too, if you do this, is these partials, and then so you just kind of have to. I do the complete boxes first, so then you kind of get the idea of how it is in your hand, and then it's like, okay, so on this side I just need this little teeny part of that V there, and now I'm going to flip things and do them the opposite way. Saying too, the other course correction to avoid any seemingly mistakes is just is really aiming once you get one set done, and then aiming for that to match up. Oh, Tanya said you need a scale. Well, what size micron are you using, Tanya? Yeah, sometimes when they're delicate like this, if you're working really small, the 01 helps, or if you go micro small, you can get that 005. Oh, say, oh, this one I didn't even do the other side. So now I have to. There we go. Yeah, and sometimes if you're just these and these partials, it's just about you're just kind of making it up. It's like, okay, yeah, I think it's going to go that way, and even making sure to have like this, and just have this little teeny lines, but it makes a difference in the overall scheme. And you say too, also the other thing that makes it a little different is how you do your arch. As I was doing this one, I'm like, I came out more. This one, instead of it being just a curve, I came out more, and then more like a, well, not even a, I don't know what you call that, but that will have an impact. Okay, so then again, aura-ing all the insides. And if you decided that you wanted to color in, then you don't have to, you can aura, it's like, oh, I'm going to aura once, and then I'm going to color in the rest. And so you don't have to bother with, continuing to aura if you already know what you're going to do in that respect. I was saying the other thing, doing these auras, also it's like, well, trying to get those lines on these V's, to line up also is a plus. We'll just call it that. It's a plus. So a lot of times, so I'm like starting from that point of the opposite side and working both ways.
Heather, did you see the question that said, is it okay to just browse her patterns being
Tangle yeah
patterns? Did you answer that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said that's why I said I just sometimes, especially when I was new, that's what I would do, is I would just, well, new and now, it doesn't matter. I'll look through that bar that's always changing, and then write down the names in my little sketchbook of what ooh, that's cool, and because it's hard to remember the names a lot of times.
But also, if you're using them in anything, what they say is to, how do I explain it? Like the patterns, the patterns cannot be copyrighted.
Right.
They're step outs that they make. I get all confused about that. But anyway, if you're making something big to give as a gift to someone or something, it's nice to give credit to whoever designed that pattern. So a lot of times, like on the back, or if you're working in a journal kind of a thing, off to the side somewhere, write, and it'll help your memory too, write the name of the pattern and who designed it. So if you ever wanted, it's nice to give credit to the people who actually did design the whole thing.
Yeah, because just like that's why I don't take. I will show their work, but not But it's like when I'm doing my own step outs. That's why I put a little note on the step out itself that says that I drew this. Because that way I'm not I'm not pushing off their work, and it's not even that as if it's my own, but using it for my purposes, and so that we always create our own stuff in that way. And which is then sometimes why it takes, for me, sometimes it takes a while to get some things out, because I need to make the step outs.
Yeah, this is what I'm waiting for you to. How do you tie that in down at the bottom from those sides? How do you tie that
These?
in? Yes. You can't.
Oh, I didn't worry about it.
Oh, okay, good. Here I'm waiting to
Sorry.
see what you did.
No, I just didn't finish it. Yeah. So no. So yeah. So on these sides, because there's such a great distance, it doesn't. You're not going to see. And then
Okay.
we'll do some shading, and yeah. Yeah. If you're working right next to each other, then of course aura. And so I try to well, even like this, it's like, okay, I went real small here, so I'll try to match that, so that way I don't have like a big gap here and not so much here. And we'll see, what did I miss? I said, got distracted and did a mingle. And well, I can't wait to see. That's okay. I still believe that that's how some tangles come about, is by whoops. See, and this is, like I said, my eye is always attracted to things that look complicated, and then the bonus is when they're like this. I mean, it's whereas it's really not that complicated. It's just just some attention, and a little bit of attention to the details. But then that's what's the kind of part of the point of Zentangle, is that we can lose ourselves in it, and it's really helpful when the patterns are not too elaborate. And I know because I was just looking at some of the books from Rick and Maria, and they say a tangle has 2 or 3 elemental strokes. So this one essentially has 2: the curved line and the straight line. And whether you take these V's, and you could do it in one stroke if you want to, but it's a curved line and a curved line. But that's the beauty of it, because we can just lose ourselves, and then if we feel like it, you use some options of coloring in. Like I said, I don't know why this is just in my head. It just makes me feel like stained glassy. So what could be really pretty with all of this openness, is you could use color. And Mom, I don't know. Oh no, if you didn't watch that, so this is a muka I did, Mom.
Oh,
You'd be so
that's
proud
beautiful.
of me.
Yes.
I used watercolored pencils.
Oh, okay.
And then, squish the water all over the place. And I was just, I didn't, one of those, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's a little blurry. Hold it down a little further. Down. Yeah, that's clear. Yeah, actually, that's perfect. So
you have to go over the, yeah.
You went over the white again, though?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking if you wanted to use the white as a resist, if you use the glaze pen, I think then you could probably just wipe it off. Yeah. But I had been wanting to kind of try this for some time, and then we were working on something, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this. So I did shading like I would normally with the colored no, yeah, the watercolor pencil, and then took the water brush and just kind of, yeah, I wanted it to look splashy, so that's kind of what it looks like. But anyway, but you could do that, with something like this if you wanted to, if you're, where you could add, whether it's, watercolor pencils and you're spreading it around, or just color in general. And then and just to have extra fun with it. I was almost forgetting. I think you have to helps to match these guys up. But I like these that are not, where there's great repetition, but also an opportunity to really focus is what I think I like a lot about this one.
What I went upstairs to see if I had something handy, but I don't.
Oh.
But what it reminds me of is sort of like the Ukrainian egg designs.
Yeah.
And I had done one with the glazed pens, and then dyed it in the black dye. I might have done that at your house when we first taught Diane and Karen to do that. I don't know, but it worked because they worked as a resist with the dye. But for some reason, this reminds me of that, although the pattern isn't like any of the traditional ones, but it just makes me think of that.
Well, maybe that's what, because the way this is formed, there are, essentially egg shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's what made me think of that. And then let's see here. Okay.
Yeah, I went upstairs to see if it was handy. The only ones I could find was a traditional one I had done, and then a couple Zentangle ones I had done, wood burning them, not. So
okay.
It didn't.
All right.
Didn't
So even in
do anything.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, eggs for see, Sandy. So yeah, because and I think it was the evening call that Abby usually gets on, because she said, "Oh, should we do something? Just as a thought, to do something." Oh, there's Abby. She's on here. I was thinking evening. It's so Abby. So I was thinking about you. It's like, okay, let's do something Easterish. But yeah, and then so I was looking. I'm like, yeah, this would be good because this would be fun to. Well, I say fun. It's fun on a flat surface. I don't know about doing it on an egg though.
Anything on a curved surface is more of a challenge.
Yeah. All right, and then we'll say we'll share some shading thoughts. Oh, that one's a little off. Did you do something?
Well, I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. Oh, wait a minute. I did.
I'm like, oh, let's see. Oh, I see.
Right there.
Yep.
And
Oh, it's. Oh, I see. Well, a couple Bronx cheers. Or, I don't know. Well, here's the thought as well. What do people do with mysteries?
This is one where you do have to concentrate on what direction your lines.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, the focus. You have the focus as well as It's like the steps are simple. But you have to focus on which direction you're going. And I want to share the shading in a minute. And Lynn is asking, what do we do with our masterpieces when they're complete? Well, Lynn, so actually, my friend Diane and I don't know what I did with the little cover thing. Diane had gotten me these sheets, which you can barely see. So I like to keep mine. I know some people use them as journaling. And someday Mom and I are going to figure out the class for these little bitty books, which is this is a full size one versus a half size one, where you create a book with tiles. And the actually, you know, I should put on my website, at least I know where the instructions are available. We want to talk to the gal that wrote the instructions up and has the group of these, just to kind of get her either blessing or participation in doing a class. I have it kind of outlined in my head, and I just hadn't talked to Mom yet about how we could do that, because it would be a multi-stage class. The half-size books are, well, they're just that. They're half size.
It's folding one of these tiles in half. You want me to go get one?
Uh-oh. No, I have one, but why am I not? Uh-oh.
I mailed mine off to Canada yesterday. Cost more than it was worth.
Oh no. Oh, and well, I'm glad that you joined us. Yeah, so this is the little half size. My thing was frozen. Let me share shading with you real quick before we go too far in the weeds. Well, I can do mine, and I can finish mine even after I've shaded it. So what we do is, I found it nice to shade around the contours of these curved lines. And what I did on this was I went darker on the big ones, and then on the little ones inside, I did the same thing where I'm just putting some graphite on the the outside of those V's. So not going on the inside like this. And I'm going light at first, and then then using the tortillon, and then so in the little ones, you don't want to go too much, because then you end up with the whole thing as gray. And we want to have a little bit of the original tile color left, so that way then we have this little raised thing, and wow, did that just add some depth to that. And then we can do a oh, I've lost my picture. Oh no.
Where are you, Heather?
Oh shoot. Poor connection. All right, hold on. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna turn off my Wi-Fi. All right, now let's try. Wow, it's like it's no better with the Wi-Fi. It shouldn't. I'm gonna have to have Steve figure out what in the heck is going on. Oh, I know what it might be. 1 second. Let me remove the blue. Tell you, that just messes everything up. All right, am I back? Yes. Really weird. It's like I shouldn't. If I'm on Wi-Fi, I shouldn't. If I'm not on Wi-Fi, I shouldn't be having these connection problems. All right. Okay. Well, just continue, Mom.
Well, I got out my gray jelly roll pen to fill in right over here where I made my messed up, because the jelly roll will cover up when you mess up. And the other one is so small you won't see it.
All
but
right.
I am having to go back and darken my up and down my main lines.
There we go. Okay, yeah. So sometimes that white jelly roll is if you're working on white, or you're on gray.
I'm on gray, so I'm using a gray jelly roll in just a little bit darker shade.
Okay. Yeah.
Which means I have to go through all of these. And I'm not really worried about coloring it in completely. I'm just kind of putting a line down the middle.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is where sometimes you don't plan on coloring in, but
but then, yeah.
saves the day.
Right. Right. Okay, so before my little technical glitchies, so I'm shading on the oh, actually I didn't do it even on here. I'm shading on the I'm working on just the little part right now, and I'm gonna finish the rest of it after, because I want to stay within our time and I want to see what everybody did. I'm so excited. But again,
Heather?
just yes.
Here's Anna. I have a question. How do you shade your Renaissance tile? Because I used also a Renaissance.
Oh, okay. So this is exactly how I shaded the Renaissance tile, and I'll pull that back up over here in a minute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, so it was the same thing. I went. A lot of times I'll start kind of even.
You're frozen, Heather.
All right, there we go. Tapping helped. So I will start with like a moderate amount of graphite, just depending, and then darken later. So what I did was around the outside of these V's on all of them, and then like I said, on the little ones. But these I went a little lighter because they're so little, and you want to be able to have some of that the original tile color on there. And then I went darker around on this big section. So I went even darker here. So for that shadow box concept, and I wanted to go darker even in here on the Renaissance tiles, at least until they get the new stuff, because I know that they're changing suppliers for the tiles, and I think they said that the Renaissance are not going to be as fragile as these ones are. So I'm always kind of careful. But I wanted to go even darker on this to give it that shadow box look where it really pops these out and like that. So it adds that extra depth to it. And then I added just some white charcoal on the big V's within the lines, just because it's like I wasn't sure where to put it. So I'm like, I'm just going to put it there. We'll see what it looks like. Sometimes that's just what we have to do. And then again, I'm using small circles. Let's see how that. Oh yeah. Yeah. So Katie, actually I'm using for this I use this charcoal, white charcoal, and I suppose I said Mama's using a jelly roll. You were using a jelly roll that was to cover up some stuff. I think. Right.
Yeah. Out of necessity.
And it's one of those things where depending, so on the look you want. So when you use the charcoal, it kind of gives it that little bit, it's a charcoal look, and it gives it the misty sort of look, and then you can, move it around a bit. If you wanted to do something, I guess, more static, like if you wanted to, like in between some of these lines or something like that, and not have it move, then you could use the white jelly roll. And I think then the white jelly roll is going to be a little bit starker. Here, I'll put it down here on my chop, because, oh yeah, see, that's, it just gives it a different look. So it's like all good things to keep have in the arsenal, of tools.
Heather, you're out of focus. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I am having connection issues, which is really, really weird. Let's see. All right. Well, no, it's still a little out of focus, so I apologize. I'm at the moment glad that it's staying on. I took my Bluetooth off because that seems to interfere, and then that seemed to help a little bit. But okay, now I'm seeing a little bit better on my screen. So yeah, a lot of fun to be had. And actually, as I'm looking at this, I'm like, you could just totally leave that blank and not even aura it, because that actually looks kind of neat. you know, if everything else was ORed, I'm thinking, oh, if I have this, if this was not ORed, or I could just go, you know, and color it in. But yeah, just a really, really neat, neat tangle with lots of options. And with that, I want to see what everybody else did. And then, yeah, and say then, who's asking, oh yeah, and Anna, yeah, Jelly Rolls, it's just a brand. This is by Sakura, so it's a brand of gel pen. But I'm thinking any gel pen will work. And all right, I'm gonna move my laptop over so I can see, and then you can also, I can be heard.
Heather, this is what I wound up with when I didn't pay attention.
Wait, oh, you find you. Wait, where are? Oh, hey, it's neat though.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you know, on the, it's great. Oh, let's see. Oh, Marie, that's neat. Oh, I like yours. Yeah, see, there's so many fun things. Oh, I like Rosemary. That's nice. Yeah, inside a circle period. Nice. Oh, that's your Tanya. You know, yeah. They said, you know, you don't have to do like this. This is just kind of like, this is almost more advanced than, you know, because we're putting the tangle in a tangle versus just doing it straight. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Let me get mine square in there. Not that it matters at the moment. And saying Anna, yours is now just a black. Well, no, that's right. I'm not seeing you for whatever reason. I don't know if you have a cover. It's one of those. I have a little cover that can go over. Oh, these are also amazing. And saying Marie went the whole shield thing, just like she had on her thing. That's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna take a screenshot here and hold them straight for a second. Oh, somebody else.
They're still moving around, Heather.
Still loading. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 24. Yeah, we can still fit more. I can turn off mine so that way we can fit more. All right. Oh. Let's try again. Okay, one. Yeah, we still got something. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I see Anna. All right, so hold them steady for a second. Ah! Oh, I think I got it. Let me paste and make sure I did it all right. So that way everyone's hand isn't falling off. Oh, I did. Yay! Nice. Oh, well, these are just gorgeous. And what a fun tangle, you know, to mess with. And like I said, yeah, just the different options that you guys, you know, all picked, whether on purpose or not. That's what's so fun. It's just like, I don't know. For me, it's the thing that takes the longest, I guess, to wrap our heads around with Zentangle is the concept of there's no such thing as a mistake. And then it's like, okay, I can acknowledge that, but then to run with it and just go, okay, well, I see that happened. So now what? And then just to go on from there. And that's what I think is so fun and rewarding from just, you know, having fun with Zentangle. So, you know, let me shut off the webcam. And yes, and so Lynn, I'm going to stop the recording for now. So bye recording.